What's going on, guys? Luke Johns from Fisherman's Warehouse, and we are heading into the first week of February. This week we've got a fishing report for you guys. So it's we're heading into spring basically. It's going to be a good time for fishing this year, and we got everything going on from a little bit of saltwater stuff. We'll go into a lot of freshwater stuff, but it should be a good report for you guys. So I'll start it off with what I'm most familiar with. It's all the bass fishing stuff, right? So I just got done fishing up at Lake Shasta last week. I was up there for the BAM Pro-Am, yes. And, I had a respectable tournament, not quite the finish I wanted. Ended up in 35th place out of 133 boats. But the fishing up there was pretty amazing. I know we weren't quite getting the weights up there that we were maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But overall, the quantity of fish to be caught in that lake is just nuts right now. It was pretty typical to be catching upwards 40 plus fish a day if you wanted to. But of course, usually when that happens, they're starting to look like this. So the real key there was targeting some deeper water. The water temperature was in that upper 40s to low 50s. So fishing offshore, a lot of 40-foot depth. I know the Juan Bass is headed back up there in just a couple of days, so that event should be really good. But something to keep in mind, coming right up, we're going to have a pretty big weather change. So we're going to have a lot of, cold fronts coming in, some wind, some rain, all that fun stuff. But like we always know at Shasta, that should just make the bite a lot better. So hopefully you guys won't have to be fishing so deep up there come that storm. But anyways, what I was looking at was 40 feet of water, fishing a lot of finesse stuff. So I was throwing stuff like a Nico rig. I got that Daiwa Nico Fat. That's one of my favorite little worms to throw on that. And then otherwise throwing a drop shot, throwing a small jig, a hula grub, something of that nature, and really just targeting a lot of fish on the bottom. Not a whole lot of fish up suspended, using the live scope to see what I can. But I will say the one thing that I did see a little bit higher up in the water column that I did, have to catch a few of just for fun is some big trout. Shasta is always known for having some really good trout fishing. We saw a couple of trout trolling boats out there throughout the week. But I was actually able to kind of find a little bite. It was just, more so for fun and practice every now and then. I'd catch one when I saw it. But these trout will just, a lot of the times they'll suspend like right below the surface. And I could pretty much fire any kind of smaller reaction bait over to them. I'd see them on live scope and make a long cast out to them and just, whether it was pinging a minnow or throwing a small swim bait, just cast out there, shake that thing back to the boat. And, I was catching some good 3 to 4 pound trout almost every day in practice just for fun. So, if you're a trout fisherman and you're looking to, target some of those fish a little bit more non-traditional, maybe, it's a pretty good opportunity for you to get up there and get on some of those, some good quality trout. No, that's a little bit random, especially coming from a bass fisherman here. But in other bass fishing news, it seems like everything's kind of starting to heat up again. Clear Lake has been fishing absolutely phenomenal. If you guys have seen the weights coming out of that place, seen the quality of fish coming out of there, it's insane. I mean, I was just on Instagram yesterday, saw Aaron Britt posted a picture. He caught 41 up there. And I know a ton of other people up there are catching anywhere from that, mid 30s to low 40s range for a 5-fish limit, which is mind boggling. So I'm definitely planning myself a trip up there pretty soon. So hopefully I'm able to sneak away and get a couple fish up there in that same quality size. But it should just get better and better at Clear Lake as spring rolls on. We know how that kind of typical spring fishing at Clear Lake works. A lot of those fish tend to group up in pretty tight areas. So it's pretty typical that you'll fish a lot during the day, maybe not run into them, but you'll find that kind of sweet spot, your magic area, and that's the place you can hit spot lock on the boat. And just park the thing and just make that same repetitive cast and get on those huge schools where you're catching fish after fish after fish. So definitely check that out. Clear Lake is going to be a wonderful option this year, as it always is. Aside from that, it seems like a lot of the lakes around in Northern California are fishing pretty well. We're kind of, still in that winter time fishing, so a lot of deeper water, some colder water, obviously, so a little bit more lethargic fish. So don't forget to slow down. Don't be afraid to pull out maybe a little bit deeper than what you normally fish. But if you do that and you're willing to make those adjustments, the fishing has been really good all across the place. So I've been catching a lot of fish everywhere I go, whether it's Folsom Lake, Shasta, and all the other lakes I'm going to be at here pretty soon. As far as saltwater goes, I reached out to a couple contacts before shooting this video trying to get something put together for you saltwater guys, but I kind of fell flat on my face, to be quite honest. It seems like the saltwater fishing is just a little dead right now. You know, there's murmurs of a little bit of crabbing going on, but even the crabbing has not been very good. So sorry to all you saltwater fishermen. That's why I'm a bass fisherman, because you can go all the time and catch fish all the time. So you know that's my gig. But aside from that, it seems like we're just going to have a really fun spring this year. There's a lot of cool new techniques coming out in the bass fishing world and across all different types of fisheries. And of course, here at Fisherman's Warehouse, we got them all in stock, and we got the wisdom to back it. So if you guys are looking to get in anything new, or if you just want some fish tips, come on down to Fisherman's Warehouse or find us online, and we will get you hooked up for all of your spring fishing needs. But in the meantime, I hope you guys are on them, catching them, and we will see you guys in the next video.